I called everybody together today because we need to look at how we are doing youth ministry. And today, we're dealing with postmortem youth, and they receive information a lot different than we did in years past. And if we cannot continue to stick with the traditional way that we've been doing ministry, so I'm going to propose that we partner with the parents in youth ministry. And actually, the biblical mandate is that parents are supposed to be the spiritual leaders in their home. If you read Deuteronomy, the 6th chapter, verse 4 through 9, it's a mandate from God that parents are spiritual leaders in their home. And Proverbs, the 6th chapter, and the 20th verse also supports parents as spiritual leaders in their home. And it also supports that children are to listen to biblical instructions of their parents. And if we were to partner with the parents, we can assist the parents in being the spiritual leaders that God called them to be. Actually, it is the responsibility of the church to give them the tools they need to be spiritual leaders. And I had looked up some statistics, and because we do have a problem with the children leaving church shortly after graduation. And looking through the statistics, I found the research says 64 to 94% within the first year of graduating from high school, they leave the faith. And it's like to say when they graduate from high school, they graduate from God. There's a Barna Group report that 75% of them leave the faith. The Assemblies of God reports 75%. Southern Baptist report 88%. And Josh McDowell Ministry report 94%. And we need to do something different than what we've been doing. And if we have two entities working together, that will be more effective than just one. And by partnering with parents, we will also be able to form relationships with the parents and with the youth. Also, greater parental participation in planning and setting goals will have that. And parents do want to be involved in what their children are doing. So if we give them a chance to get in on the planning stage and we consult them about setting goals, then that will show that we value them as parents. And then we'll get more participation in the youth department if we can get the parents involved. And by doing this also, we will strengthen both the church and the youth department. Because if we can also work closely with the youth so that they can get rooted and grounded in the Word. And if the church and the family are teaching the same thing at the same time, then that's going to have a great impact on the youth. And we can notice that some of the youth, even from our church, once they graduate from high school, they leave the faith. And it could be that they don't have the parental supervision when they leave home to inspire them to continue in the faith. And maybe they have not really professed their salvation before going off to school. So we need to do some things that's going to really make a difference in the youth ministry. And even if we put them in programs here at the church, once they grow up and they leave, and if they're relying on the programs to keep them in the faith, then once they're no longer in the program, then they don't have anything to keep them. So this has become a serious problem, and we need to come up with some strategies of how we can make this work, partnering with the parents. We're going to present this to the pastor, and we may need to brainstorm, and it's going to take careful planning and working this out. But if we can get started on it, we get people to go along to just look at it, and we can present it to the pastor. It's going to take some planning. I'm not saying it's going to all work out fine. We're going to have to work some kinks out of it. But I believe in the long run that this type of ministry will be more beneficial to the youth. And then I think that we can help them to mature in their faith as young people if we would get the parents involved in it. Of course, we may have to do some training with the parents, but whatever we need to do, we just need to commit to it. And if I could get the rest of the youth department on board with this type of thinking, then I'm sure that we can make a difference in the youth department.